grand gathering in Latvia today. We're very happy to see that.
Yes, Maharaj, we are in Riga.
Oh, you're in Riga? Acha.
Yes, Hari Gopal's house, Bhavan, Hari Gopal's Bhavan.
Hari Gopal Prabhu's Bhavan. Okay.
Turn left onto vehicle 535
Oh, interpretation.
All right. So welcome to you all. You've come there, I know, for prasadam. So I hope you had prasadam already. And Mohanananda Prabhu. Prabhu, very joyful to see you. Happy to know that you're there. We've been following your adventures. Dandavat to Mohanananda Prabhu. Dandavat to all of you. You've got a gathering of devotees. Namapriya there in the back. I'm in a car and it's actually very bright, so it's a little difficult for me to see everybody else, but I could see the purple. Okay, we have simultaneous translation, and now I just have to find our interpretation first. I'm sorry. Interpretation, so I've got the English marked. Begin with a mini Vandanam as we do. So Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tang Sajivam Sarvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitanscha. And then we'll come straight to Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. And why? Because first I'll give a little news from here. Why are we in a car? We're in a car with Abhinava Sundar Prabhu driving and Kelly Kadamba hiding and Keshavananda Prabhu always chanting. There we are. And we just came back from public program where we are chanting and talking to the public at the Not Veda Life Orient Day program in Monza. But we're almost back at the temple, and they have each, at least 2 volunteers here to share Krishna consciousness with you in Latvia. So first of all, we'd like to hear from Latvia. Suresh Krishna, please give a little news. We see you have a gathering. Please let us know a little news from Latvia. That's our name.
Dandavat Maharaj, Dandavat Keshavananda Prabhu, Kele Kadamba Dandavat, Abhinava Sundar Dandavat. We are happy to see you. And yes, today Hari Gopal has gathered a wonderful gathering of devotees, the devotees of devotees and devotees. And we had the first part of our program, we sang Kirtan, and Giriraj also came here. All of this is happening at the base, at the feet of Giriraj, where we are today, Govardhan. Had a wonderful program, wonderful people. Maybe Namapriya can... she had she'll having the presentation of Bhagavad Gita in Latvian. No? And in Rezekne, Friday, we had the presentation of Bhagavad Gita. A few people came, and one very sincere seeker came. And later it turned out that she sells meat. But her sincerity was so big that she she took all the books that we gave her in Latvian, Bhagavad Gita and one more. And she took prasadam, she donated money, and she was very happy. And this inspired all of us that a person who lives in a village somewhere, but she does not know anything else. She's growing cattle, selling meat, but she's seeking. And she came, somehow she saw the advertisement, and she was very inspired as she came that everything that devotees were saying about Bhagavad Gita, everything was resonating with her heart. And this inspired us that the Lord is sending such people who, as once we entered this samsara circle, but our heart is guiding us somewhere. And in this way, our movement is happening. Small steps, but some some people are coming sometimes sincere, and we're sharing with them what we got from our gurus, and we are getting inspired together.
Anyway, wonderful news. And you know that Krishna consciousness is not just for the pure. Oh, yes, we are all pure. We're going to come and join and try to make ourselves, go back home, back to Godhead. But Krishna consciousness is for everybody. So really, whether dealing in meat, dealing in intoxication, dealing in all sorts of things of this world, stealing, robbing, whatever background, it is beyond this. Krishna consciousness is beyond that, taking us from the material gunas to the upper world. So it is an illustration too that anybody can be interested in Krishna consciousness. And another thing is, if somebody really, does have a lifestyle like that, they must start thinking about their karma and thinking, well, I should do something about my karma. Now I know. And then what is given as the best thing to do is called Mahaprayaschitta. Prayaschitta means to atone for our sins. And Mahaprayaschitta is to take the Maha Mantra, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So even coming from a very bad background, then that can be a bigger impetus in some cases than thinking, oh, I'm okay. I don't eat meat. I don't do that. I'm a good person. Why do I need to worry? So Mahaprabhu's grace spreads everywhere, and we are all evidence of that. We've come from every kind of background in the Western world, and very few have come from a pious and what more than that, not just pious, but a genuinely religious background where we've gone through all the samskaras. Our parents went through the samskaras for bringing an auspicious child into the world, and then did all the purificative processes after birth, and then step by step at each stage. We've not come from that background at all. So what are we to say? We can say the Krishna consciousness is the path of mercy above justice, and this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's gift to the world. So wonderful. And we are very happy to hear whatever somebody's occupation now, that can change. But the Sanatan Dharma, the eternal occupation, is to be a devotee of Krishna and to adjust our lives when we get good guidance, to adjust our lives in the right direction. So good. Is that lady here tonight? No, I mean this afternoon with you? No.
No, she
No.
did not come. She came for the first time, but we hope she comes, but she has a job.
We know what her job is. Okay. All right.
This reminded me of a story when one Brahmin, he saw that some Shalagram Shila was being like on the waiting scale of meat, like selling meat. And he said to this person selling meat, and he's like, "What are you doing? You're using the Shalagram Shila to weigh meat." I did not know. So he took the Shalagram Shila, he put it on his altar. She started worshiping in the proper way. All the. So he had the wonderful archana, perfect rules and regulations, worship, and then the Lord Narayana came in his dream. You fool! Why did you take me away from? I was swinging on the scales of that person, and now you're just chanting mantras. You bring me back. And why did I remember this? Because when this woman, she came and she told us that she's selling meat as well. But I know that meat is bad karma for the person. So that person needs to somehow come out of that.
Definitely. And by the way, she's not the first person to come from such a background. And we have somebody who became wealthy from their family business, which was exactly this. And Srila Gurudev gave initiation, but he gave initiation and with the condition that he will stop that business and use his energy for Krishna. So it's not that we are doing wrong and we keep doing wrong. That when we come to Krishna consciousness, we learn what is right and we adjust to the right path. Okay, here's Purnananda Prabhu. No disturbance. Come and see the devotees. We're in Latvia. Purnananda Prabhu, he knows all about bodies and the material world. He looks after people who are, what's your official job? Carer, is it?
Home care as a wound care specialist.
Bone care?
Injuries, wound care.
A wound care specialist, and he looks after people at home. So every day he sees suffering, and he knows we're not the body. And he's been around devotees for 30 years, 20 years.
30.
30 years. So he can also share something with us. What would you like to share something? The Latvian devotees and on Zoom that are in their homes?
Every day I see people getting mad about body, about the desires. I think that it's a matter of desires. People cannot understand that there is ages from some kind of desires, and then people must, I think, in my little conscious, understand that the body will not last forever. So it's not a matter to, I want to do the same things I was doing when I was 20. Now I'm 50, 60, 70, 80. I cannot do the same. So I see every day people don't understand that changing ages, you have to realize that we are not the body, and you cannot desire the same things, because if you continuously desire things that you cannot do, you go back and you don't go ahead, and you will not looking for God and understand that this is a shadow world. Thanks for this place, Maharaj.
Jai, happily. Hare Krishna. Please do. I saw your motorbike. I'll come on over. He builds his own, actually, award-winning motorcycles. He's got two. I don't know which one's with him today. So anyway, here we are. We're in the world, and you are in Latvia, and we are here. We've arrived at Vila Govinda Ashram, and I was just showing you Srila Gurudev's Pushpa Samadhi here in Vila Govinda. And we went today to Monza to the public program, where some of our devotees, actually, 5 devotees, they are still there, and they are going to be running the book stall and the preaching stall, people reaching stall, through till 9 o'clock tonight, means for the next 7 hours they'll be there. And so we were there for the morning, and now they are there for the evening time. So I'm going to see, we do have 2 volunteers to speak to you, and they are Kelly Kadamba and David Assi from Australia, Abhinava Sundar Prabhu's wife, and Keshavananda Prabhu from UK. And I'll go and see whether they are ready to speak or not. In the meantime, any question from either Riga or from the others who are on the Zoom with us?
Maharaj, they're thinking.
They're thinking. Acha.
Okay, then I can say a question, Maharaj. We are practitioners here, and of course, we're searching for harmony in spiritual and material. Please give us some advice how to successfully move within Krishna consciousness and combine it with material.
Well, you have Mohanananda Prabhu there, and he is a good person to answer this practical question. And just while he's coming up with his answer, putting him on the spot, I'll just show you. There you are. There's the one of the motorcycles that he's built. And I think this one, maybe, I'm not sure, was a winner in a motorcycle show in Milan here. So just to see, he's a devotee and he's building motorcycles and riding them as well. And he knows how fragile is the human body. So anyway, Purnananda is also an example of you have your material world, but you remember Krishna and chant Krishna's name always and take prasadam, not enjoyment. But Mohanananda Prabhu, please be near the microphone and please share something with the devotees. We've got simultaneous translation by Hari Gopal Prabhu. We cannot hear. I can. Dandavat. No, you can see me. I'm here. Dandavat.
Yeah, Dhanavad to everybody. Nice to be here in the loving embrace of all the devotees here in Riga, Latvia. Yeah. Yeah, about oh, Hari Gopal translate. Okay, sorry. Thank you, Hari Gopal Prabhu. Yeah, material life and spiritual life. It's very important to keep in mind that if we are successful in material life in terms of doing everything right, that means that whatever you're doing is morally and ethically correct. You're not doing some business that is not a good business for your karma or also for your reputation. Then if you do a very good and you become successful, then that is good, because then if you are successful and you become rich, you can do a lot of good things in the name of Guru and Gauranga. You can feed the poor, you can educate the children that needs to be educated. And if you have a temple, if you don't have one, you can make a center. And then if you have a center, you can contribute to the center. You can engage other devotees if you can in different fields and encourage them to work. So we need devotees in every occupation, whether it's police, whether it's teachers, bankers, chefs, whatever is required. Then if they can work and be successful, the thing to remember is there are some practices that are common in material life and in spiritual life. Is it being translated?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's good. I
Yeah, good.
continue.
Huh? Yeah.
Mohan and Andrew, it is being translated. Only the people seated around you won't hear the translation because you're speaking in English.
Okay, Maharaj. Okay.
Or I can switch, maybe I can switch to Russian and we
But when you switch to Russian, we don't hear anything, Prabhu. Zoom isn't so smart to be able to listen to English and play Russian on the same machine.
All right. Okay, so there are certain things in material life and spiritual life that's very common. For example, in spiritual life, we know we have to get up early morning, do our sadhana, praise, give thanks to our guru and our. Okay.
И духовная и материальная жизнь, они очень как бы похожи чем-то, потому что, допустим, в духовной жизни нам нужно просыпаться рано и делать нашу садхану.
So you make sure you get up at a certain time, you do everything that's required properly, punctually.
То есть делать определенное, правильно, в определенное время, пунктуально. Надо быть уверенным в этом, что...
So this is the same thing in material life. If you have to go to work, you have to be there at 9 o'clock. You make sure you're there 10 minutes before 9.
И то же самое в материальной жизни. Если мы идем на работу, мы должны быть там, например, в 9, нам нужно прийти за 10 минут до.
And whatever instructions your guru give you in spiritual life, you follow that.
И какие бы руководства ни давал духовный учитель, мы следуем этому.
And it's the same thing in material life. If your boss gives you some direction to do your work, you do your work. He's paying you for it.
И в то же самое в материальной жизни, если босс дает как бы какое-то руководство, что надо делать, и мы делаем это, и нам платят за это деньги.
And you have to adjust in spiritual life. You can have association with some devotees much more closer, some devotees not so close, because the personalities might not be, as smooth as it would be with others. It's the same thing in material life. You have some workers you can work with and some you can't.
Также в духовной жизни есть преданные, с которыми мы ближе общаемся, с которыми менее близко общаемся, с которыми вообще не общаемся. И также в материальной жизни есть некие близкие люди, есть как менее близкие люди.
But still you continue your material work because you need to have the income to pay your costs.
Но так или иначе мы продолжаем нашу материальную деятельность, потому что нам нужно платить по счетам.
And still you do the same thing in spiritual life because you still have to do what you promised your guru you would do. You surrender to your guru has given you some instruction, you must follow them.
И в духовной жизни также мы предались гуру нам дал определенную инструкцию, и мы должны этому следовать.
So don't run away from material life unless you can be retired from work or you are handicapped or something like that.
Не надо убегать от материальной жизни до тех пор, пока там, мы не уйдем на пенсию, например.
And if you want to retire from material life, then go and stay in the temple and find some service there.
И если хочешь оставить материальную жизнь, то просто иди тогда в храм и найди там служение.
But if you cannot do that, then be active in material life to make a good income.
Но если ты этого не можешь делать, то будь активен в материальной жизни и зарабатывай деньги.
And use that income for good things.
И используй эти деньги для хороших вещей.
And it's not something you can avoid because you might have a family life, you might have a wife, kids and all of that. You can't move into a temple life and be 100%. If you can, that is good. But your children still need education, they still need schooling, etc. And if you have a gurukul, that's good. But if you don't, how shall you manage it?
И не надо убегать от материальной жизни, потому что если есть семья, дети, жена, то детям нужно образование, нужно зарабатывать деньги на обучение.
So, and also another thing is that if you don't fulfill your duties to your family, look after your wife and your children, then you give this responsibility to your guru.
If you
don't fulfill it, then this responsibility will be on your guru. People will say, you must have a very bad teacher.
Да, если ты не будешь выполнять свои обязанности в семье, то ты не будешь тем самым как бы ответственным перед своим гуру, потому что другие скажут: о, у тебя плохой учитель, потому что ты не следуешь своему долгу.
So, to do your guru proud, you follow his instruction, you look after your family, and if you're successful, people will say, he has a very good teacher because he's doing everything correctly.
Да, и следовать наставлению гуру говорит, делай свой долг, выполняй свой долг, И другие люди увидят, о, вот этот человек, он очень хорош в выполнении своего долга, и он следует наставлению своего гуру.
So if you're fortunate enough to avoid material life, if your parents are rich, if you don't have to work, and if you are wanting to be a brahmachari or you're a vanaparash in a temple, then sure, withdraw from material life is good.
Да, и если ты удачлив достаточно, родился в богатой семье, то есть ты хочешь стать брамачари, то оставить материальную жизнь – это хорошо.
But if you're not, and you cannot be in an ashram and stay with the temple, etc., and if you cannot contribute in that way, then best for you to go out there and work, get an income, be independent, but do it correctly. Don't bring a bad name to your family and the devotees.
Но если ты не можешь этого сделать, то есть уйти в храм, то тогда иди в мир, зарабатывай деньги, и деньги эти используй на хорошие вещи, на благие дела. То есть сделай прославь свою семью и семью преданных.
And in some countries, rich countries, if you don't work, the government gives you money.
А в некоторых странах, если ты не работаешь, то правительство дает пособие.
And I've heard directly from Govinda Maharaj, Gurudev said, when we were in Govindadam running there, we had some devotees like this getting welfare from the government. He said strictly that they should do 6 hours of service every day in the temple.
И я сам слышал от Говинда Махараджа, что Говинда Махарадж слышал в Австралии, что есть такие преданные, которые не работают и получают пособие от правительства. Говинда Махарадж сказал, что они должны приходить в храм и совершать там служение на протяжении 6 часов. 6 hours.
6 hours.
Да, 6 часов в день. Каждый день.
And contribute financially if they can.
И жертвовать финансово также, если они могут.
So there's, both can harmonize if you have the mindset and you are firm and you ask your instructions from your Gurudev and he says, yes, if you've got a job and it's giving you income and you can earn that, look after your family and you can contribute to your local Vaishnava community, then surely you can do both.
Да, и то есть, это хорошо, когда ты приходишь к гуру, просто что у него руководство, он говорит, что да, зарабатывай деньги, иди работай, пытайся совершать служение, давай деньги, пожертвования в то общество вайшнавов, где вы находитесь, и если ты можешь выполнять, делать и духовное служение, и материальное, то это очень хорошо.
And we have some few examples right now, like Paramananda Prabhu in Thailand and his wife, they work very, very hard. They run businesses, still they run the temple, and more than that, they're actually building a temple.
Да, и у нас есть прекрасные примеры, Парамананда Прабhu и Кришнаприя в Таиланде, они оба бизнесмены, они оба работают, но они также жертвуют деньги, они поддерживают храм, и более того, они сейчас строят храм.
And also Sudarshan Prabhu in Salt Lake City, he also runs his business with his wife, right, Kishori. They have children, they live a normal life, but they contribute. And they also, not only that, they travel and preach wherever they can. So there are many, many fine examples if you look, and you can follow those examples. And you can then, have a fulfilling life both ways until you can retire.
И также есть Сударшан Прабху и Райкишори в Америке, у них также есть бизнес, они управляют бизнесом, у них есть семья, дети, и они то, что зарабатывают, вкладывают в духовные проекты, они путешествуют, проповедуют, и это очень прекрасно, если так можно делать, правильное использование жизни до тех пор, пока не наступит момент пенсии от работы.
Yeah, so many examples we give, if we take time to research and hear from the senior devotees, if you don't know, then you'll find many good examples, and they're doing it right now in life, not something in the past. Real, in today's world, in this time, in this place, in these circumstances, they are doing that. They're working in the material world and working very, very hard. They run a business, and then they come back and do the service in the temple. Like Paramananda and his wife, they live in the temple. So they also work there and do service there at the same time.
И мы найдем много примеров именно современных, сейчас, не когда-то истории из прошлого, что есть преданные, которые работают, зарабатывают деньги, занимаются бизнесом и вкладывают эти деньги в духовное развитие, как мы уже говорили про Рамананду Прабху и Кришнаприя, которые Они живут в храме, поддерживают храм и занимаются бизнесом.
Yeah, and some of you here, you've all been to Thailand. You've seen what a wonderful place they run and how smoothly everything does.
Да, и мы, некоторые, кто здесь присутствуют, мы были в Таиланде, и мы видим, какое прекрасное место, что они делают, какое-то прекрасное место.
And if that's not enough, they're building a temple right now.
Да, и если это недостаточно, то они прямо сейчас строят храм.
So you can see, if you really want to do it, if you're committed to it, you can do it and do it smoothly.
Да, это можно этим заниматься, да, и делать очень прекрасно такие вещи.
And yeah, you in Latvia, you have perfect example, doctor and his good wife.
У нас, да, также есть в Латвии, как бы, в Раджи Кришна Индумасе, в Раджи Кришна Индумасе, которые также преданы, но работают.
They work very hard
Да,
jobs,
да, у них очень тяжелая работа.
but they still contribute to the community.
И они вкладывают в комьюнити преданных также.
So
They are not here.
they're
They're here, yes.
yeah. Okay. I can't see from here, so my glass is not good. So anyhow, if they are here,
Yes, they're here.
we'll see them soon.
Yeah, мы скоро их увидим, да.
But that's your local example.
Да, это наш местный пример.
Not everybody has a very important job. Some people have only a local job. They might be just a school teacher, but it's still a job.
Не все имеют такую возвышенную работу. Кто-то может быть учителем, но все-таки это работа.
And it's good to be self-dependent and not dependent on the community.
И это очень хорошо быть независимым, и не зависеть от общества.
And that way you can give to the community because we are Vaishnava. We don't like taking. We like giving. We do charity. We don't take charity.
Да, и это наоборот как бы хорошо быть независимым, потому что мы можем давать в комьюнити, давать, поддерживать. То есть и мы вайшнавы, мы не берем, мы даем. Мы жертвуем, мы не принимаем пожертвования, мы жертвуем.
So I hope this answers the question.
Yes. Я надеюсь, это есть ответ на вопрос. Yes.
And on that theme too, and Mohan and Andrew touching that point, that is Srila Gurudev did not like lazy. So I think we have our translation back, I think. So Gurudev did not like lazy. So the point also Mohan and Prabhu made that Gurudev is saying, okay, you found a way to get money for free from the government by not working and making this claim or that claim. But then don't be lazy. Use your energy for Krishna. That doesn't mean now you don't do anything and just waste your life. The human life is too valuable for that. So use energy, but use energy for the Lord. Hare Krishna, and I think we should ask Paramanand because he's here, he's in Japan right now. And if it's not too late, I'm not sure the time there, can we ask you, Paramanand, to share a few tips? Because this is a question that comes up almost daily and came up with us also today. What is the practical way for regular persons with family and job, etc., to live Krishna consciousness? What is it in the practical way they can do each day?
Dandavats. And it is the most common question. And wherever we went for our preaching activities, we would always hear this question. The most asked question in China. Can you hear?
Yes, I'm hearing in English fine. I expect that the Russian is running. Nadia Sundari, can you hear in Russian? Da. English. Oh, very smart.
This was the most asked question in China. That's what I was just saying. Every person we meet will ask the same question. Every program we'll do, there will be a question. And when people asking that question, there will be, everybody else saying, yes, we would like to know that. And Mohanana Prabhu, just from the practical point of view, he covered a lot. Really, there is very little to add to that. But from a philosophical point of view, I would like to refer, and you can do it after the Zoom later on. There's a beautiful verse. It belongs to Lord Brahma, and it's being explained by Srila Guru Maharaj wonderfully, by Srila Govinda Maharaj beautifully, and I think you know what the verse is. Gyane prayasamudapasya namante eva jivantimam mukharitam bhavadiyavartam stane sthitam shutigatam. So in this verse it is said, regardless where you are, which place, what social position you're occupying, what is your standing in so-called society, what is your body type, regardless of planet, universe, it doesn't matter. What matters is leave all the attempts to figure out why Krishna, why is he willing this, and why, and stop asking those questions. Stop trying to analyze his sweet will and expression of his infinite desires. Give up the idea of liberation. It's all temporary. And just engage in hearing about him in the company of like-minded persons. And that will conquer one who is unconquerable. Jita jito pyasitaistilokyo. So that will happen. Certainly it will happen. So it's a good verse to refer to. And I'm seeing, is that Keshwanand Prabhu in the back? Is he? Oh, it is him. Looking very skinny. And Kelly, Dandavat. Maharaj, your mic is off.
So it is. We were just getting organized with some extra chairs and things. Yes. So I'll translate what Keshananbu said. He said they just had some very important service they had to do. Now it's completed successfully. They've come.
I can guess what the service is. Anyhow, we are not here. Our goal of life is not to join a temple at some point of our life, which is a good thing to do. I mean, if you can, wonderful. But if you cannot, it doesn't matter. So we have to try to be Krishna conscious, regardless of where we are, what are we doing. And when we're doing something, naturally we have to take care of our bodies or people, the extension of our bodies, extension of our ego for this particular lifetime. There's some duties to fulfill, no doubt about it. Like thinking of duties, I'm immediately thinking of Keshwananda Prabhu. I mean, so much trouble. Sometimes we have to go through for that, to fulfill those duties. But we should always be conscious that whatever we do, we're trying to dedicate it to Krishna, to the Vaishnavas, to the service. And that is the most important. Give something. You don't have to give everything, but give something. Like sometimes Thai people, they come and they're, oh, are you meditating? I mean, you're religious people. Somehow people think that we have to sit down and meditate. And they have a very peculiar way of thinking what the meditation is. But actually, the one who is trying to be Krishna conscious is always thinking, how can I be used? Praying inside it, please, Lord, use me for the service to your servitors. And that will be the constant prayer. And when the answers come, we have to be mature enough to recognize, oh, yes, this is my answer. Some service is coming. So we shouldn't say, oh, I don't like that. No, I would rather, anything else, Krishna? Anything else there? Not that, but yeah, anything, okay, I like that. Okay, I will take that. So we have to be very careful. The service is not something very easily attainable. It's actually very precious and very rare. So regardless how small, how big, or how medium, it doesn't matter. there is no measurements of the service. There is no small, there is no medium, there is no big. Service is the service. And if your mood is proper, and you could recognize, yes, Krishna wants me to do that, and he is giving me some indications for that through his representatives. In fact, that's the easiest way. When a devotee is asking for something and giving us some service, but actually the whole environment is giving us direction. So those who are very mature, they can recognize, oh, this is what Krishna wants me to do, even through the environment itself. But the most common way of expressing his will is through his devotee, and it's more easy for us to understand. So we have to be very careful and very in tune. And in this way, you can maintain your Krishna conscious life wherever you are, working, retired, it doesn't matter. Really, it doesn't matter. Ashram, some people, they go to ashram and then their mood is like, what was the Gurudev's expression? Living in the ashram, but actually living in the hell. Because the mood is wrong. Their consciousness is not proper. And then you see a grihastha couple externally engaged in so many different mundane activities, but their mood is proper, their consciousness is proper. And they're actually living in Vaikuntha. While a brahmachari, who externally may look dedicated, but not in the proper mood, will be living in the temple, but in the hell at the same time. So it's all relative in that way. So service is the most important. Maintain the service connection wherever you are, and then you will be fine. And good association, that will always give you a good boost. That's all I can say.
So we have Keshananbu here and Kalikarambu here, and we've all been in the festival now for the Orient Day Festival, and these practical questions come up, and we've just been addressing the point, what do we practically do for our Krishna consciousness? So now many things have been covered, but you can put in a tip each or say something as you wish. With lots of devotees, right? How many windows? 30 windows?
Many.
Yes, many.
Many places.
And many places, many devotees. And we are here to be seated together and to share about consciousness. We're on 2 screens.
Yeah. Right. Bellissimo. Stupefacente. Look at so many devotees all in Riga, crowded in.
Yeah, we're in Riga today. They're doing a program in Harigopal Prabhu's flat.
Yes.
And the camera's here. So Keshananbu, speak. Krishna consciousness. He only speaks Krishna consciousness. He doesn't know anything about football. He knows nothing about politics. But Krishna consciousness he knows. Keshananbu. Today, while we are speaking today at the public program, he's sitting just beside and behind. He's singing all the time Krishna Nam while we're speaking. Actually, very, very beautiful.
So somebody must have said Shravanam Kirtanam.
You are the first, but Prahlad Maharaj said it before you.
Yeah. I mean, these things have been given to us, what to do and how to do it. And the first of those processes is Shravanam. You know, we're dealing with divine sound. What is it? There's a little mantra. I was trying to think of it today. It's only 2 words. Something shabdat. It's from the Vedas, and it means by sound we are transformed. By sound we are transformed. So that divine sound, whether it's hearing the Maha Mantra from our guardians in the kirtan, or from our own practice of japa, and by hearing and reading, by that divine sound coming in, it has to go in. It's the It's the first thing, Shravanam. That, and we will be changed by that if we can cultivate a proper mood to hear receptively. So that, again, we can be anywhere for that. We can take a book in our lunch break from the office and sit under a tree or in the in the cafe and read something, or have our Maharaj always has his earphones in, listening to something. And Shravanam and Kirtanam, reproducing that in the Kirtan as we know it, and then with the people we meet and the conversations we have, talking about those things that excite us and enliven us, and what touches me about this, what I just read. I mean, this morning we're reading through the Upadeshamrita of Rupa Goswami, and we're reading the commentary, you can say, of Srila Sridhar Maharaj. Goodness, we're reading on the 9th verse at the moment, and it's a big commentary. I don't know how many pages. We've been reading it every morning for some days now, and we're not finished yet, just talking about this one verse. And today, well, over several days, we come and sit at breakfast, and we're literally like astonished by what we just heard of Guru Maharaj's presentation of reality, the beautiful, and how to develop the eyes and heart to see, oh, actually all beautiful and all dancing, sweet. And you come out thinking, wow, and we're discussing amongst ourselves. And of course, because of my Kali Yuga brain, we can never remember all the beautiful points that Guru Maharaj made. So we have to read again and again, and every time new substance come in as well. This is divine substance we're dealing with. And so these things we can do anywhere. We can do anywhere. And the temple is very useful as a place to come to together and to organize and to take prasadam and have kirtan, no doubt. But now we can hear and we can chant wherever we are. And all those points made were very good. You know, and the temples like we know them really are coming only from the time of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. They were the ones who thought we need some organization. When we read Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's just the devotees from Keturi who are coming, the devotees from this village and that place are coming to Bengal. It's communities of devotees who are coming. And but in the time of Bhaktivinoda and Saraswati Thakur, we saw that the push out into the modern world, then some organization was going to be necessary for the printing of books, for the distribution in English language, so many things. But otherwise, we know it's built on the heart connection. We've heard it so many times, heart substance. So if we have devotees in our lives, whether they're next door room or the room over there, and we can meet together to encourage each other and to hear and chant, then everything is good. And this is our there's some part. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a little concerned as well to make a organization because that can lead to thinking that, oh, Krishna consciousness is something that goes on in the temple, and then I go home and then I'm not, that's another story. You get like a dichotomy kind of rise like that, or the people who are living in the temple are, they're the advanced devotees, and I'm just going off to the my office day and looking after the kids and things, and therefore I must be, you know, of a lower order. No, none of that's right at all. They have some purpose, you know, that we can come and have darshan of Giriraj, very wonderful, and they do, but we also need some to understand this Krishna consciousness is what happens and how I react and how I respond to what happens in the office and what happens around the dinner table with the family and what happens, all those things. That's why we're doing it. It's, yeah. I'm very lucky to be with Abhinava Sundar when he's whispering kirtan into my ear. So how fortunate is that to have such friends in our lives who can whisper Bhakti Vinod Thakur prayers into our. That's what we want in our life, for sure. However we can get that. So we should all be very thankful that we're together and can come together. And but Shravanam, number one, we have to hear, it has to go in, we have to be constantly renewed and constantly infused, because Srila Prabhupada refers to the environment as vitiating. It's energy sucking, and so we need the infusion of the Hari Katha to give us life and to readjust us every day. Something wonderful has to go in, and then we're thinking, yes, I want to be a devotee, but I have my duties to do to my family, to my so many things I have to do. But actually, this is the most important thing, and I will try to approach those other duties in a way that Srila Gurudev would be happy with, or that he would approve of, how I can manage whatever it may be. In so many places we may find ourselves, so many situations in life, we don't know. But so these times of togetherness and here, we want that to fortify us and to strengthen us, so that when we are going through life, we can see through the eyes of, you know, by his loving attention and loving instruction, opening our eyes to see properly of how I will move in this world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And Abhinava Sundar Prabhu, he's been our driver, chariot driver, as you saw when we were starting in the car today, or starting the Zoom in the car. But he also gave a long talk at our program in the Orient Day Festival. And Kelly, she's got something she's bursting to share with us all. So here's Kelly Kadambadevirasi. A few words kindly.
Everybody. Well, actually, I was thinking, came to my mind something that Srila Gurudev, Govinda Maharaj, always told us and tells us that appreciation for the devotees, and to always take care of our affectionate dealings with the devotees. And it can seem like it's something that's very simple, like, oh yeah, but we need to get to the deeper stuff or the higher things or these technical things and learn so many things. But actually, Gurudev said so many times, like, affectionate dealings between the devotees is so important. And like when we think of because he always said, be humble, tolerant, give honor to others. It's not just so that we avoid difficult things in our lives and we can have like a clear, happy sailing path in our devotional life or our material life, but actually so that we can be in a position in ourselves that when we're approaching Keshav was just saying, like in all the moments of our lives, we're trying to put into practice the teachings of our gurus, like in every situation, see how we can adjust ourselves, adjust our vision. But when we're dealing with each other, it's so important to focus on the good qualities in each other. And Srila Madhusudan says that all the time as well, not to hear any negative talk, to try really to avoid things that are not Krishna conscious, and try to, actually the Chinese devotees said so beautifully one day, they're trying to like be good calves and milk the devotees when they come. You know, like there's something so incredibly, the most precious thing in the hearts of the devotees. And everyone is experiencing that in the most unique and beautiful and precious way. And the Lord is so vast, incomprehensible, that we actually need each other to be able to, if we, we find those appreciable things in the hearts of the devotees, then we're actually seeing how the Lord is touching their hearts and how they're offering themselves to the Lord. And it's something that really can be seen as, well, I say for myself, I can be unconscious of it, and to always try to hold the fact that we have this God family and that we can practice together and we can hear the things that each other are sharing. It's so precious. And if as soon as we don't appreciate that or criticize or have different not so nice things in our hearts or minds, it chops that off straight away. And then suddenly we can be walking around like just saying be in the ashram and actually not there at all. It's not sweet. We're not feeling energized. We're not feeling enthusiastic. We're not feeling revelations coming, just grinding. It's so important. And I remember one day Srila Gurudev gave this incredible talk in Calcutta, and he said, I've been thinking about this for a few days, how to tell you all. And it was like he just covered everything. I've said this before, like covered, everything. It was the most incredible talk. And then he said at the end, but affectionate dealings with the devotees is the most important, because it's heart to heart connection. And anyway, so this is what came to my mind when you were saying what tips, like how to hold that on our heads at all times.
Yes, we are in Latvia. We've got Raja Krishna Indumati in Daugavpils, and today nobody in Resigne today. The Resigne team, they're all in Riga. So Suresh Krishna, so Raja Krishna Indumati, would you like to share any insight on news or question?
Dandavat всем преданным, Dandavat to all the devotees, Dandavat Guru Maharaj,
всей моей семье.
Dandavat to all my family, because I feel that you are my family.
У меня такая мысль, Махарадж, если
I
можно.
have a thought,
Она очень
Maharaj, if I
короткая.
may, very short.
Я считаю, что если
I feel that if a person
то все,
thinks
что бы он
of
ни
Krishna,
делал, является
that
служением.
no matter what he does,
Если человек
turns
ставит
into
Кришну
service. If a
в центр,
person puts
то
Krishna in
все,
the
что бы он ни
center,
делал, является
then no
служением.
matter what he does is service.
Если даже он делает что-то неправильно,
Even if he does
если в центре
something
стоит Кришна,
not
то он
perfectly,
поймет, что он
not
сделал
properly,
неправильно.
and then if he puts Krishna in the
Он
center, then he
раскается в
will
этом.
understand what he
Если
did
он живет
wrong.
осознанно, это тоже
If
будет
he's
являться
living
служением.
consciously, he will be sorry
Если
for
Кришна
that.
в
And that
центре
also will be
тебя, то
service.
служение
If
твое
Krishna is in the
постоянно.
center of you,
Для
then you will
меня
be
это
serving
правильно.
constantly.
Такое,
That
которое,
is
в
a rule
принципе,
for
нужно
me,
стремиться,
to which
к которому нужно
we should
стремиться, да.
we should aspire.
Я считаю, все очень просто.
I feel that everything is
Hare Krishna.
simple. Hare Krishna.
Beautiful. You made everybody happy here, and I'm sure everybody happy on the whole Zoom gathering over here. And it reminds me of how Srila Guru Maharaj said that we are not the ones to try to change others. We can give direction, so many things, but if somebody is sincere, then Gurudev is saying, I am feeling that Krishna will correct them from within. Not that Gurudev was walking around with a stick and, you're doing wrong, why are you saying in this way, etc. He tolerated what he said, how they behaved, even when it was wrong. But he took that view. We must always remember Krishna. And Krishna, if someone is sincere, Krishna will take that, will correct them, will take that wrong from them. But this idea that Krishna is everywhere, we read actually some very high things this morning from Srila Guru Maharaj in his commentary on the 9th verse of the Upadeshamritam. And as Keshavananda Prabhu was mentioning, I mean, there's just such wonderful things there. And Srila Guru Maharaj, he says something which fits into the beginning of Search for Sri Krishna, Reality, the beautiful book that I think all of you have read, most of you have read, and you know about, where Krishna says, where Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj says that all you scientists, you're trying to give some solution to make people happy, but you don't even address the main problem, which is birth and death. You are showing the suffering and just trying to give some temporary relief, but you're not covering the main problem. And Guru Maharaj says, you should, if you're not going to address the main problem, you should go away from the field and leave it to us. And we will prove that this world is a world of supreme joy. And then this morning in our reading, Srila Guru Maharaj was saying about Goloka Vrindavan. And I don't know if I can immediately pick up the, or maybe, yes. So, okay, it's, see what you can catch, but I'm just going to read it, and I'm sorry, Hari Gopal Prabhu. Actually, if I ask Keshavananda to read this until here, it's very short. It's 2 paragraphs, but I'm going to just find it and put it in the chat box for Hari Gopal Prabhu because it will be helpful. So Keshavananda, he will read, he will transmit what is said.
It is only ego, separate interest, that creates misery. Local interest is absent in the absolute consideration. It is not real. It is misconception. Leela is absolute in Goloka, and misconception, separate interest, can only obscure this. And he says, a play should be performed on a stage. When the play is seen on the stage, it seems to be perfect. But if the play is performed in a village, then it may not be so relishable. Similarly, in Goloka, everything is perfect. All is nirguna. But here in the mundane plane, when the play is performed, we find it somewhat difficult. That difficulty, however, is with the audience. The difference is there. One who can see deeply will come to the vision of Goloka. So the same thing viewed from different stages of consciousness seems different. It varies according to the viewer's capacity. According to a gradation of self-interest, viewers see things of variegated nature. So, we are to eliminate the selfish characteristic of our vision that does not allow us to have an independent vision of the environment. So we are to eliminate the selfish character of our vision that does not allow us to have an independent vision of our environment. Our understanding is prejudiced, and we read the environment according to our prejudices.
And now in the chat box, the next part as well. Harigopal.
This
short. Brahma, only this.
Yes. Brahma, misunderstanding. Pramada, inattentiveness. Vipripsa, deceit. And Karanapatava, sensory incapacity. These four kinds of defects in us do not allow us to grasp the real purpose of the environment and what we see. The difference is wholly within the onlooker, the seer. The various covers are within. And when they are removed, we shall see everything as Golok. We are there. Everyone is there. The difference is in the stage of the onlooker, the degree of prejudice. Jai Guru.
By Srila Guru Maharaj, and beautifully read by Keshavananda Prabhu. So, yes, I know it's not easy to capture this whole idea at the very beginning, but everyone can surely understand that what's being presented here is truth. What's being presented here is the perspective from someone who knows the truth, who knows that land, who knows that nature of that land. And this is our Guru Vaga. This is Srila Guru Maharaj who's directly giving us this description. This is Srila Gurudev. This is Srila Prabhupada. And this is our grandfather, for some grandfather Guru Maharaj, means Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And this is our Rupa Nuga Guru Vaga. So we're happy to come and to be with you all and to share these kind of topics, both the practical things for day by day and a little shake-up reminder of everything is already all right. It's only us who are wrong, and we just shake ourselves up so we can take the good advices to clean the mirror of the heart, to make our practical journey in devotional life come to this understanding that everything, we are there, everyone is there, because everything is in Goloka. The difference is in the stage of the onlooker, the degree of prejudice, so that it's our prejudice, our local interest, our conditioning in this world. Yes, high topics, but after all, that's what Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, this is what they're giving us access to by following the good guidance. So Braja Krishna, many thanks for leading us into this thought, and your reflection on always seeing Krishna is in the eye of the onlooker. And to you all there in Riga, gathered together in Haribal's home, and to you all there, so many devotees attending from around the world and attending. And we appreciate Rupa Nuga Prabhu's comment on Zen and the art of motorcycle mechanics from earlier on in the day. But everything can be used in Krishna's service. And do I quietly say, even a motorcycle, if you use it for Krishna's service. So we have practical experience of that in India, of course, where it was a very practical service, assistance to service. All right, dear devotees, joyful to be with you, and you know you brought joy to everybody here, and I hope that together we're also bringing joy to each of you there. And every Sunday we come together in Latvia. Last week I was in Hungary with the devotees, the joyful devotees and gathering from all over Hungary. Devotees came, and this week joyful gathering with all over the world devotees who've joined us. You can't get much further away than the east coast of Australia. Abhinava and Kali have come to meet you today from here. All right, Paramanand Prabhu, much appreciate. Mohananand Prabhu, much appreciate the contribution of each of you. And each of you, we much appreciate your contribution. As Keshavan said, hearing, remembering, chanting. And you are hearing here, you're participating here. And let us all try to remember something with her and share that with others, the good things that we remember. Jai Om. Oh, so sorry, back to Suresh Krishna. We're sitting in Latvia. Suresh Krishna, please excuse, please have the microphone.
Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Acharya ki Jai. Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Gantarva Govinda Sundar Ji ki Jai. Giriraj Govardhan ki Jai. Guru Parampara ki Jai. Guru Varga ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Thakur ki Jai. Shri Panchatattva ki Jai. Ananta Kuti Vaishnava Vrindi ki Jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswata Acharya Vrindi ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Ramjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Pad Paramananda Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Pad Keshananda Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Pad Abhinav Prabhu ki Jai. All the assembled devotees ki Jai. All the assembled friends ki Jai. Shri Pad Mohananda Prabhu ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Hari.
Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. And all our Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Vrinda ki Jai. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Now, Hari Gopal Prabhu, you can finish your chant seva and you can strike up a grand kirtan in your flat with the assembled devotees and guests. We want to be able to hear it all over the world. Hare Krishna. All right, Dandavatam Srila on the camera. To each of you, our obeisances, appreciation, and Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu is with us also. One by one, all of you. Lilavati, Naza, Dana, Gunali, Ojasvi in Moscow, Rangadevi Rasi here nearby in Germany. And Bhakti online, yes, okay. And Hari Gopal, Nadia Sundari, Marie, Savitri, nearby in Switzerland here. B.R. Madhusudan, not sure where he's from, but there we are. Hari Gopal, yes, Gunali, Lilavati Didi, yes, we can see your photo. Jai, beautiful. Stay safe. Everybody's trying to stay safe with body, but safe with your heart. This is the important. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Govinda Govinda.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
How many times do we click?